fascinating underwater worlds, Euromaxx reporter Hendrik Welling visits Europe's biggest aquarium and encounters many different sea creatures. And with that, welcome to Euromaxx. Here's a look at what else we have coming up on the show. Skateboard whiz kid. This girl could become the youngest German competitor at the Olympics. And Swedish Christmas menu, what the Swedes traditionally like to eat over the holidays. But first, we meet an artist who creates beautiful and bewitching masks. Her name is as mysterious as her artworks. Damselfrau. For her, it means having two contradictory sides. And putting on a mask is a bit like putting on another self. Let's take a peek behind the masks of the London-based artist.
Is it tribal art, folklore, a shaman's trappings, or a combination of all of these? And who is the creative spirit behind the masquerade?
My name is Magenhild Kennedy. I'm a Norwegian artist living in London, and I work with masks.
It all began in 2007 when Magenhild Kennedy, alias the Damselfrau, moved to London. She sewed her own club outfits and soon added the masks. She taught herself how to embroider, sew, and adorn clothes. Some of the masks only took her a day to make. Others she worked on for years.
I don't know where this one is going. It will probably turn into quite a different looking thing at the end of it. Again, it's kind of the ethos is to not plan. I don't draw, I don't design. Work with the materials, and they'll sort it out for me.
She calls the masks on the shelves her gang, and they do seem to take on a life of their own, even getting individual names as soon as they're completed.
This one's called Rococo. It was initially, to me, quite Baroque. So Rococo, like Rococo was, the name comes from that. This guy is a fairly new one, which was difficult to get to. I just had these materials that I really wanted to use, and it wasn't communicating that well to me. It hasn't gotten a name yet. He might not be finished. I'm not sure. This one's called Ventua. Window. I just wanted to try this square format, a mask that is outside the mask.
Magenhild Kennedy gets inspiration for her masks right outside her door in London's East End.
London's been an important part of the work. It is very inspirational. It has people from all over the world. It has materials from all over the world. And there's a freedom to how people dress and how they live their life, which is a very strong influence.
She often returns from her strolls with something she's picked up somewhere. Her studio is like a treasure trove.
When I buy lemons and limes, I keep the net that they come in. Bet that will be useful. Here's old sari ribbons and trimmings. There are some things I found at the car boot, some things I go and pay lots of money for. This all came out of a dumpster up the road. Crystals, good ones as well. These are fruit bags from the 60s, and they've been laying around because I didn't know what to do with them. And I just had this hunger for color, and I popped into all my colors and just made these kind of simplistic but clear, and in my head, futuristic color exercises.
Once she's finished a mask, she snaps a photo of herself with it on and posts it on Instagram under the moniker Damselfrau. She has over 100,000 followers.
These are objects, they're physical things, and they have their own voice, which is not only the app life.
Magen Hild Kennedy carefully composes her mask photos. She never wears the masks for any other occasion. She's happy when others get creative with them. And musicians, artists, and photographers are thrilled to do so.
The young woman in the next report doesn't wear a mask, but rather a helmet. That's required in her daring sport. Lily Stefasius is a skateboarder. In fact, a very talented one. Her chance to take part in the Summer Olympics in Tokyo is looking good. And the most amazing part is, she's only 12 years old. Let's meet the German whiz kid.
To me, skateboarding is, on the one hand, something I want to do professionally and later on earn money with. On the other hand, it's just my hobby, and I have fun doing it.
Lily Stefasius is Germany's best skateboarder. At the tender age of 12, she's a two-time German champion. Now, she's heading for the Olympics and won't let anything knock her off balance.
Sometimes I go to the skate park and the boys look at me funny because I'm a girl. But I don't let that bother me at all.
The young Berliner trains up to 4 times a week.
Last time you were just a tick faster.
Jürgen Horvath is a German national skateboard coach and Lily's mentor. He pushes her to test her limits.
That was a trick that takes a little bit more daring. She didn't always make it. But now she's practicing the trick on the next level. And that's exactly what you have to do to get better fast.
Her father, Oliver, is always on hand. He's been skateboarding for over 40 years himself. He started Lily and her little sister, Tora, on skateboards when they were just a few years old. At first, it was just for fun.
All I knew was that it was a hobby or sport that I had lots of fun doing, one where you can express your creativity, and of course I didn't want them to miss that. At the start, nobody thought it would develop in the direction of a competitive sport. They could have also said, no, I just want to take the skateboard to roll down to the bakery.
But now, Lily Stefasius is sliding from one competition to the next, and on to the German championships in Dusseldorf. She still goes to school, but is on the road 3 or 4 months out of the year.
I've been in China, in the USA, I've been almost everywhere in Europe, and it's fabulous because you get to see almost the whole world.
Skateboarding will be an Olympic sport for the first time at the 2020 Summer Games in Tokyo. Lily's coming ever closer to her goal of taking part.
By European standards, she's one of the best. And by international standards, she's right where she needs to be to qualify for Tokyo. So it's definitely reachable for her.
Public interest in her ought to reach new heights if she ends up going to the Tokyo Olympics. Then, at age 13, she'd be the youngest German Olympic competitor ever.
If I qualify, I'd like to be able to enjoy it and not feel like I have to make it to the top 10 or something. In 4 years, when I'm 17, I might qualify again, and then maybe I could start thinking about bringing back a medal.
The decisive qualification phase begins in February. Then, once again, Lily Stefasius will be spending more time on the road than in school. Fortunately, the Tokyo Olympics will be held during the summer vacation.
Let's hope that Lily's dream of qualifying for the Olympics will come true. A different kind of dream came true for my colleague Hendrik Welling. He wanted to discover the underwater world in more detail. And he didn't even have to get wet to do so. He encountered fish that some divers wait years to catch a glimpse of. And he could even touch some. Where? In Europe's biggest aquarium. It has 1,600 species, including a very elusive creature.
A manta ray and the magical underwater world. I love the ocean, but I very rarely have the chance to dive into the marine world. Seeing sharks close up, feeding the manta ray, and stroking fish are things I've always wanted to do. Nausicaa, France's national sea center, boasts the largest public aquarium in Europe. It's a gigantic tank filled with 10 million liters of water. The star of the show is the manta ray, the largest species of ray in the world. Even the building's design was inspired by the manta ray. The center is located in Boulogne-sur-Mer, right on the English Channel in northern France. The city is the biggest fishing port in the country and home to about 1,600 ocean species. Nausicaa is a world that visitors can literally dive into. Stéphane Hénard is the center's director of aquariology and helped creating the Nausicaa concept.
Everybody feels the future of mankind is at stake. And here, this tank is devoted to that, showing the beauty and also the fragility, but the need to preserve the potential of this magnificent place that the high seas represent.
Much of this magnificence is displayed and explained here. Nausicaa is much more than an aquarium. It is an education and research center. With some 60,000 species that I can get to know, admire and even stroke. The ecosystem of the big tank is similar to that of the East Pacific off the coast of Colombia. Manta rays live there too, but here they are fed by hand. I'm giving this one 3 kilos of crab cocktail.
Okay, great. Good job, another time, great job. It is very impressive to watch the swimming, and it's very peaceful, but also very powerful. It's very beautiful animals. We have the chance to have that here.
Manta rays can be up to 8 meters long. This one is only 2 meters long, but it's still young. The staff are allowed to get even closer. They can observe the animals better up close and make sure that they are doing okay. They also have to clean the tank and sometimes entertain the visitors. That's what the sea lions do as well. Here are 6 of them showing off their skills. But they are primarily here for research purposes. The carers have to make sure that the wild animals are obeying their commands so that researchers can get close without being in danger.
We can observe the behavior and physiology of the sea lions here much better than in nature. Researchers on the California coast, for example, don't have permanent access to the animals.
I am heading back to the aquarium.
You have a big manta ray coming close to every single visitor. Divers sometimes wait for their whole life for that. And here, every single visitor has what many divers are seeking for years and years. So that's also the magic of that, bringing that kind of experience to more and more people every day.
What impressed me the most here is this huge tank. I never thought I'd get such a good impression of life underwater. I think it's so fascinating that I could just watch for hours.
And you can find more amazing places that Hendrik Welling visited for Euromaxx on our YouTube channel.
Want to learn more about European lifestyle and culture? Then you've come to the right place. The Euromaxx YouTube channel. Take the plunge into an underwater restaurant. Try out award-winning and flavored cuisine. Join the race at the Straw Bear Festival. The Euromaxx YouTube channel. Subscribe now so you don't miss a thing.
This year, I'll be enjoying delicious German Christmas food here in Berlin. Every country has special meals for the holiday season. And in our series, Traditional Christmas Fare, we introduce you to some of them. And of course, we also reveal the recipes for these dishes. This time, we travel to Sweden, where they feast on all kinds of delicacies.
My name is Ulf Wagner. I'm the very proud owner of Restaurant Sjömagasinet. Today we're going to have a closer look at the Swedish julbord, the Christmas table. And in the end, I'm going to show you how to prepare the ham, julskinkan. Follow me.
In the weeks before Christmas, Sjömagasinet in Gothenburg, Sweden, offers its guests an especially sumptuous julbord. An essential part is the glögg. Ulf Wagner and his head chef Gustav Tregor see it as Sweden's classic Christmas holiday beverage. It's basically Scandinavia's version of spicy mulled wine.
First step of making glögg, we use the red wine. And we put it in a pot. And we add our seasoning, cloves and cinnamon. Third ingredient is pomerans. And we don't use too much because it's very strong in flavor. And the ginger is rather spicy, so if you want to, you can add much to get a powerful glögg. Yeah?
A heaping portion of sugar helps sweeten the holidays. 2 or 3 slices of apple give it a fruitier bouquet.
The next step is to heat it up, of course. And we want to just barely boil it, and then we want to leave it simmer for a while so we can get the taste out of the seasoning as much as possible.
It's heated to just under the boiling point for 15 minutes. If it boils, the alcohol starts evaporating. Then it's strained and is ready to serve.
We do serve it with some raisins, and we put the raisins in the cups. And also we have almonds that are chopped and peeled, and we put that ones in the cup too.
Many Swedes like their glögg on the stronger side. For them, Ulf Wagner spikes the hot wine with cognac. But as often with alcoholic drinks, less is more.
That is totally heating your body up from inside.
We need that in the cold winter.
Yeah.
During Sweden's winter, Wagner makes sure there's plenty of the piping hot spirits in his restaurant. The star chef is a native of Austria, but he's embraced Sweden's Christmas holiday customs.
The Christmas table is the most important thing for the Swedish Christmas. We eat herrings, we eat salmon, and of course we eat the julskinka, the Christmas ham.
Ulf Wagner adds onions studded with cloves, bay leaves, and white pepper to the broth with the cured ham. Depending on the size, it takes the ham about an hour and a half to reach 72 degrees Celsius on the inside.
Perfect. And don't throw this juice away. In Sweden, we take old bread and put it into the juice. We reduce it and put it in and eat the bread with this soup, so to say. It's lovely.
The baked ham has to cool for 1 to 2 hours. Then it's ready for a glaze of egg yolk, sweet and sour mustard, and sugar. Before breading the ham, Ulf Wagner cuts away the layers of fat.
I always do some breadcrumbs before the coating, because otherwise it won't stick.
First, some breadcrumbs. Then the mustard mixture is poured over the ham. Then the rest of the breadcrumbs come on top of that, and the whole thing goes into an oven preheated to 220 degrees Celsius. Within 10 to 15 minutes, the breading is baked golden brown, and the Christmas ham is done.
Beautiful. Look at this little beauty.
The julfinka in thin slices is the traditional main course of every Swedish Christmas buffet.
For the end, I will wish you a very Merry Christmas. En riktigt god jul.
If you'd like to try making the Swedish Christmas ham or glögg yourself, you'll find the video recipes on our Facebook page. Lots of people dream of having a white Christmas. In Northern Europe, you'll often have one. But if you prefer a sunnier holiday season, how about the Canary Islands? This island chain belongs to Spain, and in December, it's still warm enough to go swimming and hang out by the beach. And believe it or not, there are a lot of creative Christmassy things that you can do with sand.
This is not your run-of-the-mill sandcastle. Artists gathered on Gran Canaria to create detailed sand sculptures of Christmas scenes.
So this is my theme work nativity, and you can see Maria holding Jesus' baby and Joseph standing next to her. It was for me like very important to make them peaceful and happy, give them a tiny smile, not too much, otherwise it would be like, I think, incorrect for that picture.
Sanita Ravina comes from Latvia. It took her 8 days to create her Christmas scene in sand.
I started sand sculptures, I think, when I was 12 or 13, and that was at home in Latvia. There was like a kids' competition, which happened every year, but only once a year, and it was in July. So, and I started to go there, and at first I didn't win anything, but then I grew up older, and I started to get better, and I started to like get the first prizes.
The Canary Islands are warm enough for people to go swimming in midwinter. It's a summery Christmas season. A tour of the exhibition on Las Palmas' popular beach can get people into the Christmas spirit. The Nativity Scene Sand Sculpture Festival in Gran Canaria is now in its 14th year. This time, it counts 8 tableaus, each made up of several figures, shaped from over 2,000 tons of sand.
You discover more and more images. I can imagine at night when it's all illuminated, you notice even more details.
It's one of a kind. This is only sand and water.
This blows the mind, absolutely blows the mind. Not only is it so artistic, it also portrays a vision.
One of Las Palmas' landmarks is the Columbus House. It too has been recreated in sand to look like a part of Bethlehem. Some of the artists conceal little messages in their works.
I have one secret message hidden actually, which is in Maria's dress. I wrote a letter M. Actually, it's like Maria and Mother, and it's like my tiny message. Like, and I do these things sometimes. Sometimes I hide maybe some animal, tiny, but this time I just thought, okay, I will write like M for Maria, and people who will see it, who don't. Like, it's just for fun.
The large-scale nativity scenes in sand are a fixture of the holiday season on Gran Canaria. They'll remain standing till January 7th.
By then, Christmas will also be over in Spain. Our show today has come to an end too. From me and the whole team here in Berlin, thanks for watching, and please join us again next time. Bye-bye.